Hello, viewers. Today I am having with me a very bright, ambitious, and amicable personality, Mrs. Saloni Jain, uh, who is from Indore. And we will be discussing on education, or you can say about the importance of English. So, over to you, Saloni ma'am. Please introduce yourself.
Right. So, hi viewers. My name is Saloni Jain, and basically I am from Delhi, born and raised in Delhi, and presently I am residing in Indore. I am a BTech and MTech BTech graduate, and just recently I completed my MTech in computer science. And I am very vocal and very passionate about teaching and educating others. And as ma'am rightly said, that education, English language, awareness. So that is what today is going to be all about.
Yeah. So, first of all, actually, I have created this channel just for a social cause, so that whoever is coming to this channel or visiting this channel, he or she may get some help, so that he can or she can improve his or her English. Because as a teacher, I am seeing a very worst situation of the learners who are lacking because of this English language. So first, I would like to ask you, in your opinion, what is the importance of English in one's life?
See, first, if you talk about practical life, I think English is one of the most commonly spoken languages worldwide.
Yeah.
And as we know that we live in this global village that we call, there is so much globalization all around. We are wired, we are connected throughout the day. So in order to communicate better with people, to understand things better, things around us, I think English has become very essential. See, personally, I do not favor any language. No language is inferior, no language is superior. But today's world has mandated that one should know basic English, one should understand basic English in order to get the message across in clear terms. So, for example, you are traveling for education, for work, or for any purpose. So, if you want to ask for directions or let's say anything, so if you know a little bit of English anywhere,
yes,
so you will be able to communicate better and you will be able to solve the purpose at least.
Yes.
Right. So this was about real life. And if we talk about education sector per se, so I think once you know English, a lot of fields open up for you. And for that, I think the main important thing is the educators themselves, the teachers themselves should be well versed in English.
Yes.
Because once they are well versed, once they are properly informed, they will be able to spread it to their students.
Yes, of course, exactly. I agree with you. And government is doing a lot of efforts in this area. I mean, all the trainings are going on, and they are providing teachers guide also. Even the ready-made lesson plans are also with them. But I don't know what had happened to this community, that they are less interested in taking some efforts, or I don't know, they don't want to upgrade themselves, update themselves. They are still with their old methods and pedagogy of teachings, and which is right now we are teaching 21st century students. We have to give them those skills so that they can use them and incorporate them with their future life. But this is not happening actually. I'm also a teacher in rural area, and I see the very pathetic condition. And as you also travel and you also been to very small places, tehsil places. Earlier you were in Narsingarh, and before that you were in Jhabua. So you have also seen the condition of education. Overall, means we can't. I mean, even the teachers, the English teachers, those who are teaching English, they can't even speak English properly. So how can we think that will teach this language to children? So, ma'am, as far as
That
the
is why I especially mentioned that. Yeah, please.
No, please, you continue.
Yeah, so that is why I especially mentioned that educators need to be trained first.
Yeah.
The teachers and the professors, whatever level we are talking about, school, college, because due to the globalization, internet connectivity, every student nowadays knows what all is going around, like all over the world.
Yes.
They know what is happening but they do not have proper guidance. They do not have proper directions. So for that reason, educators and trainers, they must be well aware, like their skills must be continuously upgraded. They must be provided training, and they should be enthusiastic to upgrade themselves. They should not be complacent. They should not be lenient that, okay, we just know this basic knowledge and we have to just pass it on. No, they should be able to upgrade themselves so that they're able to cater to the students of this century. Yes. This is the very basic thing. And as far as quality education is concerned, what are your opinions? Yeah, see, if you ask me personally, just like you mentioned, I've been to remote places like small districts. Yeah. So what I have observed here is that the focus is on marks. Marks. Mainly marks. That you have to achieve this cutoff, you have to achieve this benchmark, so you will get into this college or you will clear this exam. So, in that race, the student is unable to grasp the actual essence of education. And which I think education means that you should be able to make well-informed decisions. You should be aware of your surroundings. You should know where you have to go, what is right for you, what is wrong for you. Like academically, obviously, marks are important, no doubt. But what is the essence of education? Why do we need education? Yes. Why do we need literacy, I should say? So that people actually know what is right and what is wrong. So that is why we are more vocal about, the literacy in rural areas. Yes. Because people are not that literate there, so they are not able to make informed decisions. And that makes a chain of events. So that affects the entire country all in all. So education for me means obviously academically you have to achieve marks, you have to clear exams, and you have to crack colleges and everything. But ultimately you should be able to understand the essence of education, why you are studying so much. Yes. Like especially in rural areas, I think that we should focus in rural areas about educating them aware, making them more aware of their surroundings, yes, of the right and wrong choices, the difference between right and wrong, yes, that they may have to face in the future. Yes. As you talked about the globalization, so one thing came into my mind that how we can incorporate this technology in our studies. If we, because this new education policy also says that since from class 6 we should start teaching them coding, but still I think our state has not taken any initiative in this direction. So as I know, you are also a instructor or mentor in White Hat Junior, and you are teaching coding, I think. Earlier you told me. Right. So if you can give us some insight that how we can incorporate this technology in our teaching, in our classrooms on that level, at classroom levels. Right. So, ma'am, just like I mentioned, we are living in a globalized world. Everybody has a mobile phone today. Internet connectivity is almost in every village, town, so it is already there. In every village also we are trying to have internet connectivity. So the modalities are not a problem. The problem is, again, I would say the ones who have to provide this knowledge, who have to provide this information. So basically teachers only. So they have to make sure that, what setup is required. So for example, if we talk about a school, a basic school, and not just coding, we can talk about any subject. Because once coding is, again, it is an advanced, it is a higher level subject, I should say. We cannot teach it to, primary level. But let's say very basic subjects like maths or English or Hindi or science. So it cannot replace offline teaching. One point I would like to say, but definitely it can complement it. It can help in bridging the gap between offline and online teaching. So again, like the teachers, they should be able to first of all plan out properly that what setup is required for my school. So for example, they can group the students into 5 or 10 students per group. Then they can maybe take a mobile phone or a tablet. These days, the government is supporting a lot in online education. So they are providing tablets, laptops, and all these gadgets in order to promote online education. So they can plan this setup that okay, this all is required. Internet connectivity should be taken care of. Then gadgets should be taken care of, and then groups should be made, and then the teaching can be started. That okay, we have the groups. We have 5 groups of 5 students each, so 25 students total, and now we can start teaching. So what this will do? This will take lesser amount of time. And obviously, if we extend it in future to full-time online teaching, it will reduce the traveling time and all the logistics that are involved in offline teaching. But again, offline teaching, it is not a substitute of offline teaching, online teaching, because the physical interaction between students and teachers is also very important. So one thing is that. And second thing, I think once this setup is planned, once this setup is done, what I think is that the instructor, the teacher should be aware of the, all the know-hows of the technology. Because once we start online classes, it is not, it is not mandatory that it will go smoothly. We can have technical glitches, we can have power cuts, and n number of issues. So the teacher should be prepared how to handle those. Because if he is not prepared, he or she is not prepared, then the teaching will not go smoothly, and the very purpose of online teaching will be lost. So, for example, just a small example, like we are having an online class, and suppose there is a power cut and frequent power cuts in that area. So we should have a power backup. That's what I mean to say, that these are small technical glitches, technical issues that should be taken care of if we want to incorporate online teaching in our curriculum in long run.
Yes, you are right. So mainly I think the teacher must be motivated, and it must be a self-motivation, a kind of self-motivation. Because if we are taking motivation from outside, it will not work for longer time. So self-motivation is very much necessary.
Right.
And through our discussion, we have just arrived at the point that it's a big obstacle in a student's life if he or she is not properly having basic knowledge of English. And it means if he or she is not aware of right and wrong, then it will be because I see a huge gap between a group is means our society is broadly, it is divided into 2 groups. One group is very much advanced, he is doing good in his life, and the other group, it is very much lacking behind because of this awareness, and the teacher is the only person who can cope up with all these
things.
So, ma'am, any message?
So like we say that pen is mightier than the sword.
Yes.
So, which means that knowledge is very, very powerful if it is used the right way and if you are taught the right way. And I think, like you rightly mentioned, that like English is a very big obstacle, a very big roadblock these days, especially in rural areas. Like what I have observed that mainly the focus is on rote learning. That, okay, for example, primary students, if I talk about, they are taught paragraph writing in primary classes. So what I have seen is that there are a few topics, specific topics, and the students are made to learn those particular paragraphs or those topics. Like they are not encouraged to have creativity, to think on their own. They will make mistakes. That it is not mandatory that they will perform right, especially at such a young age. So they will make mistakes, but ultimately, our aim should be to enhance their creativity. And that is how they will learn. And secondly, one more thing I would like to mention, I think reading is very essential. Reading not just academic books, but other
books also.
Other books, right? Because that will, in a way, broaden our work, especially if we talk about school students. It broadens vocabulary, it teaches good morals, and all in all, it enhances the English, because academically, whatever we learn it for clearing exams. That is the truth. But if we read something for leisure purpose, then we are not in any sort of pressure. We read it according to our own pace, and then and then it stays with us longer.
While reading, we come across many new words, so vocabulary becomes strong.
Right.
And many types of sentence structures we come across while reading. So they set in our mind that this type of sentence we can do while conversation. So there are many advantages of reading, and you would be surprised to know that in our timetables we are having zero period for reading. Sometimes during Bal Sabha, During but there is a chance on Bal Sabhas. Whenever you are doing Bal Sabha, you can tell them, ask them to read at least for 1 hour. Just provide them the library books and let them read. Reading is totally missing. Reading is totally missing from our schools, whether they are private or they are government school.
Right.
In private
That
schools,
is why I meant.
yeah. But if the parents are educated, they will take care of this thing. But the parents, those who are the villagers, they are uneducated, illiterate. They don't know the importance of reading, writing, and all that. They are only they are least interested in their children's study, but they want them to use them for the household works. So their time has, whatever their time getting, their time getting in their school only, in the classrooms only. Otherwise, once they go home, they say ki we have lots of work to do there, ma'am. We can't do any homework and like that. So it's
so that is why I said reading. And once again, like obviously you said that if the parent is educated, they will take care of it. But another point here is that it is the peer group. If you see your peers, you're ready to do it.
We can do this with making small groups. And I used to tell them to read social science in this way only. But just you read one topic and then you discuss on that. And in this way, social science, you can learn it in many, means there are many benefits of group learning, peer learning. So, ma'am.
Yeah, because that way they are able to generate many ideas on their own.
Yes.
And when they generate ideas on their own, it is registered in their mind for a longer time. Once a teacher tells them, the teacher tells them like a story. So they may forget it, they may remember it half and half. But once they are able to think on their own while reading, they are able to understand on their own. I think it stays with them for a longer time.
And if a teacher is taking so much effort, I have noticed this thing that the thinking capacity, they have lot of more thinking capacity than the town students. Because I was teaching them yesterday present continuous simple present tense, and I said I play, you play, and he plays. So one of my students said, "Ma'am, he is playing more." Whenever I know it's a structure, then I play, you play, and he plays. Why S is adding? So he is playing more than us. I was so surprised to hear him that see their thinking process. If once we have initiated such atmosphere, if we allow them to think, then their thinking power will also increase. But what we are doing, just take out your notebooks, write down, write. All the time writing is going on. And I don't know.
And from very small age, they are very, they have to maintain their, I have seen, when I used to teach in schools, I see small students just, writing continuously, that nothing should be, left out on the board. Because they are more, they're more concerned about the material, that, we should just have the material, no matter whether we understand it or not. So
that's why the concept of this thing, teaching learning material came out. That since in the lower classes, teacher must go in the classroom with the teaching learning material, so that they may see it, they may feel it. This is the thing, how they are counting, because the concept of counting is not very much clear to them. We say 10, 11, they can't visualize what is 11 and what is 10. Until and unless you make them to count some marbles.
That's very true, yeah.
So that
is very true.
It was nice.
That is why, a lot of changes are already being done. So like you mentioned about counting, and if you see in many schools these days, once the alphabet is taught, ABCD, so now phonetics are being used.
Yes.
Instead of, rather than just ABCD.
Yeah. Instead of their
try
names,
to teach the proper sound.
We are teaching them sound. In government also, schools also, I have, last year I have given the training to class 1 and 2 teachers, and there we have started teaching them sound. But I don't know how it will be implemented in the classrooms. But we have done our best.
Yeah, so such trainings are actually required, just like you mentioned that you.
No, but
government trainings are required.
Yeah. So all these things, setups are being done by government. But the main thing is that teacher must feel
A follow-up should be done. Yeah, that how well it is being
implemented in the classrooms. So it was very nice meeting with you, ma'am, and we have got many insights. And those who will hear this conversation may realize their mistakes, that what they are doing and what they can do. So, if you want to give any message to my learners, to my viewers,
I'd just like to say that no matter what you're studying, just try to gain the essence of what you are learning.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, I'll repeat the same thing that marks are important, clearing an exam is important. But ultimately, education should give you confidence in life. Yes. That you should be able to deal with any situation in life.
So, ma'am, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. Abhishek. 20 minutes की हो गई है. हाँ हाँ. देखा बेटा, तेरी मम्मी कम है क्या तेरे से? एक बार बताता है तुम. अब तू देख तो जरा, मैंने एकदम ऐड कर दी है. अच्छे अच्छे. बेटा भूख लग रही थी, मैं चिंता कर रही थी.
अरे मैं मानसू के साथ आज ड्रेसिंग भी करानी थी उसकी.
अच्छा, तो भूख